on Fancy Lads.
Yay.
We seem to only have two of the Fancy Lads. Previously, Gronk, Keg, Birdperson, and Saudade had sort of crash landed after a big night out at Fantasy Bunnings and ended up in the Elsir Vale back in time. Or not massively back in time. In fact, actually probably forward in time from when they originally entered the Pyramid of Shadows, but back in time based on other certain factors. Depending on your point of view. It's a little bit wibbly-wobbly. Yeah, and Hermione had tasked them with preventing the Orcish hordes led by Obould Many Arrows, leader of the Red Hand, prevent them from taking over the Vale and sort of writing history. And you were sent on your way with with sort of no hope and a prayer, as I think she was a little bit annoyed that you drank through her entire liquor cabinet keg, or most of it. Now
that is how we like to roll.
When they landed in the Vale, the Fancy Lads were beset by Orcish raiders just outside the town of Drellin's Ferry. They dispatched this sort of forward party, made their way into town, and learned that Drellin's Ferry has been dealing with Orcish raiders over the last week or so, and they've been becoming more and more bold and brazen around the town. During that night, Keg decided to get into a drinking competition with a local dwarf, possibly a blacksmith. I don't want to stereotype, but you know the type. Big beard.
He was either a blacksmith or an alcoholic.
That's right, exactly. He had a big leather apron on. He was talking all about his barbecue setup, and Keg went, "This is a guy I want to drink with."
I might invite him around for a quote.
Birdperson, Gronk and Saudade brought Birdperson into town looking for a vet, and were able to kind of get him some medical treatment. That morning, nursing a little bit of a hangover, Gronk, Birdperson, and Saudade were told about the plight of the people of Drellin's Ferry, and were asked if they would be willing to sort of go into the Witchwood and sort out just these couple of cheeky orc raiders. I believe their response was sort of like, "Yep, if you pay us, we'll go do it because we don't have any money because our hordes person is in a different timeline." Thank you. So they set off into the Witchwood, assuming Keg will be along. He knows they'll be fine. He's like, if we don't see him now, we'll see him in 1,000 years' time. Keg, you woke up. Yeah, you woke up not in a lovely, comfortable stable, sleeping on a bunch of straw. You woke up in a massive hole in the ground. It's like some sort of pit trap. And looking down on you, sort of that a couple of hours after daylight, nursing Actually, I guess Keg doesn't really get hungover. In fact, you're probably feeling quite... Yeah. So you did get a long rest, if you want to mark that. And this...
Bender, he works better drunk. When he's sober, he gets hungover.
Exactly.
Doesn't Bender rust when he's sober?
Yeah, he gets that rust beard.
Yeah, Keg's hardwood gets brittle.
That's right. You need that liquid alcohol to keep staining it properly, to drive out the weevils of the wood out of the wood. Provide that hard oak that he is known for. Keg, you come awake and you notice you come awake to the sound of a dog barking. And up above you, sort of up 10, 15 feet out of the hole, you can just see the sky. You can see like it's the sky is blotted out somewhat by some trees, but But obviously, you can't see around you. You have no idea exactly where you are.
Keg yells out, Gronk! Gronk, shut up! Gronk, be quiet!
The barking gets louder as it seems to be coming towards you.
No, that must be Saudade. Saudade! Shut up!
Eventually, you see sort of the wet nose of a hound kind of poke its head and start sniffling around over the edge, over the lip of the lip of the pit, and sort of starts barking down at you, and then kind of like darts away and darts back, barks at you some more, darts away.
Oh no, I was right. It is Gronk. Gronk, help me get out of this hole, you bastard.
After another sort of 5-10 minutes,
Gronk's shaved. He has less hair than usual.
Gronk's looking good.
He's been doing that 75 challenge. What looks like a human man kind of peeks his face over. He's got this sort of big, bushy, brown beard. He's wearing sort of a cap, a green, almost like a bucket hat sort of style, covered in leaves and things like that. He's almost got like a bit of a homemade ghillie suit look about him, and he looks down at you, and says, "Well, sir, what do we got down here? Snuffles, be quiet. You there? What are you doing in my pit trap? It's a bit rude, isn't it, to break into a man's pit trap when he's not here?"
Hello, my name's Keg. It's good to see that you've met my friend Gronk. I'm sorry that I'm using your pit trap for the minute. It was just so comfortable. You wouldn't mind tossing down a drink or helping me out, would you?
Well, sir, I got plenty of water. But in exchange, I definitely want to hear the story of what brings you into my neck of the woods. And by rights, I've never seen a creature quite like you before.
I think for your own safety, it would be best if you didn't worry about how I got here. You know how the government is when things end up in craters overnight. So I would say that if you have anything a tad stronger than water, ale, mead, vodka, wine, port,
He says,
other than water, and a rope ladder, that would be great.
he says, you're talking about the government. You wouldn't be from the revenue, would you?
No. Definitely not from the revenue. Definitely not from the revenue. From the hold, from the winter area, the winter hold area.
Because we don't keep no truck with the revenue around here. Always poking their beaks in where it's not welcome. Telling us, oh no, you can't be selling scumble out here in the Witchwood. You got to pay taxes on that. I say, no sir, I made this money, it's mine.
You're a man of my own heart. I could see that money's yours. You enjoy your own money. Look at you, just breathing in God's air, not letting anyone tell you what to do. I tell you what, why don't you chuck me down a rope ladder and an ale? Pale will do. IPA. I'm stout. My mouth's a bit dry. I really don't mind. Whatever. And I'll be on my way.
He says, well, I guess you stay right there, and we'll see if we can sort you out. And he sort of, the silhouette,
my friend Gronk.
the silhouette of him sort of moves away. and eventually you see a rope kind of be thrown down. It's got some knots in it and stuff like that for hand holding. For hand holding.
What a fucking legend! I scramble out.
Give me an athletics check.
All right, I will. No problem. It's good to be back. It's good to be rolling again.
So you
Now,
easily
I've given myself advantage there
yeah.
because it's a ladder. And if Ken can't climb a ladder,
Yeah, we're in trouble. I'll pay that.
Because it's a ladder.
In fact, the thing that comes over first is the rope with the knots in it to help you out. Secondly, a sort of a leather flask kind of gets thrown down as well, and it sort of sloshes and squishes with some liquid.
Keg has a sip before he begins climbing the ladder.
All right. Give me a Constitution saving throw, my dude.
Yeah. This will be a clean. I don't think I deserve a...
I think you have advantage against poisons, so you actually do get advantage on this one for realsies.
Legitimately.
Oh, there you go. Oh, damn. That's a nat 20 on the first one.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It says you got a 7...
One,
Oh, you got a
20.
20. You got a 22.
18.
That was an 18.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You feel sort of a like an apple kind of taste, an apple kind of fizz at first, and you yeah. So you feel like an apple kind of thing. You think, oh, maybe it's just like some cider, right? It's just like a nice cider he's got. And as you start to climb the rope, like the entire world, bam, kind of like turns its head on you in a minute, and you can feel sort of a fizzing in the back of your brain. In your case, this just gives you that extra strength to just, you heroically climb up, leap out of there. And I'm going to give you, let's see here. So you are immune to being frightened, and you have spellcasting modifier. So, what's your spellcasting modifier? Do you know? Like, what's your charisma modifier?
+2.
Sounds about right. Yeah. So you're getting 2 temporary hit points every turn as you just feel this sort of surge of strength, kind of buoying you up. This liquid courage. As you realize it's probably not cider. It's something much. They don't stack, no. But
So it's just 2.
if you take damage, then it'll refresh on your next turn. So it's kind of like you're taking 2 damage off every turn.
This guy's a goddamn legend. Good on him.
I'm not sure if you've tasted something like this before. I haven't got it written down on... Well, I've got it written down on mine as number 98 on our D100 of Keeg's drink list. This is Scumble. It is made from apples, mostly. Slightly fizzy, and don't let it contact metal.
All right. Don't spill it, Keg. Don't spill it. But I only got one of these.
Yeah. There's just a little bit in there, almost sort of like a thimble of this stuff.
Yeah. Hey, good on him. Good on him. Maybe I can do some sort of quest for him to help him out to get more.
In fact, when you arm over arm climb up to the top, you see that from this angle, it is not Gronk that was poking his snout over the edge of the pit. This man has a small
I'll be
dog.
damned.
This man has a small dog with him, and he's, as I mentioned, he's got this sort of bushy ghillie suit style thing. He's got a big long bow over his back, a couple of swords, and he's sort of watching you a little bit, relatively kind of safe distance from you, just kind of standing there watching you climb out of the pit.
Thank you very much, sir. What was your name again?
Well, my name's Joel, and
No, what was your name?
Joel. What's your name? Yeah.
My name. I'm
Name's-
Keg. What's your name?
Name's Joel.
Yawn?
Yo.
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 Your name.
Yo.
Your name is. I'm Keg, and your.
Your name Keg, my name Yo.
Yo. Nice to meet you.
This goes on for another 10, 20 minutes.
Fucking Monty Python over here.
Yo, what's your dog's name?
I think I gave him a name before, but I've already forgotten it. Let's see.
That's right. Names are clearly hard in your family.
We're going to call this one Floofy.
You're Floofy. All right. Nice to meet you, yo.
He sort of gives you a bit of a how's it going? And he says, so what you doing in the Witchwood?
This wood?
Witchwood. Just in Witchwood.
Yeah, this is. Well, yo, in this wood, I was drinking.
Joel, you gotta be careful with drinking down the Witchwood.
That you do, yo. That you do.
Mighty number of beasties out here. Witchwood get out to get you, full of witches.
Witches in the Witchwood?
Well, that's why they call it the Witchwood.
You're a man. It makes sense, yo.
Oh, to be sure,
to me.
I've been watching a lot of Outlander lately, so this is going very Scottish very quickly.
This is the best conversation I've ever had.
He says, sure not from... Oh, actually, we're going to go full accent. This guy's just going to have every accent under the sun now. Let's see if we can find the original. Well, you weren't from them Drellin's Ferry, were you?
No. Like I said, I'm from Winterhaven Town.
Never been as far as Winterhaven.
It's cold.
Well, it sounds it. Although you'd think being a haven from winter, it'd actually be quite warm.
It's like a heavenly cold. It's more of a light mist of a cold, really.
Says, well, it gets cold out here, but in the winter you can. So what you doing out here in the Witchwood on a super bonny day like this?
Looking for the collectors. I can't have them. They don't. I don't agree with them.
Yes, well, nay king, nay queen, we will not be rude again.
I mean, not all kings are bad. I think you need the right one.
Well, you show me a king that isn't going to collect the revenue, and I'll take my hat off to him.
Got a mirror, yo?
You saying I'm my own king? That's a bit true. It's just me out here with Fluffy, Snoop, and Spot. We got a place about half a day's travel. I mean, if you're not doing anything, you're more than welcome.
I would be honored for you to join my team. I would love to make you an honorable fancy lad. You, Fluffy, New Gronk, the whole team. The collectors won't be bothering you anymore, yo.
They don't range out here. they're too scared. I mean, they don't find your, but they do find recently a couple of orcs about. Bad business, orcs. Trying to steal me scumble, eat me apples.
Fluffy used to be an orc. He's turned out all right.
Fluffy could eat an orc, sure.
Sure, that's what I said.
No, it's your.
We're gonna protect your scumble. You, me, Fluffy, new Gronk. Even if I have to lead you to the protection myself. Even if you have to get down on bended knee and build some sort of vineyard in my honor once this is all done. I promise you, your scumble, will never be flawed again.
He says, you're welcome to come back to yours cabin, and perhaps we make it official over a drink, and then we can head out there and bust some beasties.
Keg's eyes light up when he says that last part.
Yeah. And so, yep.
Boom.
And you head off, wandering through the wood, sort of into late in the day, and sort of by evening, you come across a small cabin. There's two other dogs lying under the porch. They start barking at you. This cabin is sort of has a bit of a ramshackle porch littered with fishing baskets, skinning frames, and the cabin overlooks sort of a lake with with grey cedar trees draped in moss rising out of the water. There's an old skiff tied up on the shore nearby, and as Jaw kind of leads you up, the two other dogs come bounding up, jumping up and barking and kind of jumping around you, having a sniff, getting in all the crevices.
Nice. I pat them lovingly, and then I point at the cedar tree overhanging the lake, and I say, "Yeah, you have a brewed of scotch out of that there, Yor."
What was that? Run that by me again.
I point to the cedar tree and I ask him if he's ever made a scotch out of that. If he's ever brewed it up.
He says, "Ain't never heard of scotch? What's a scotch? It's from Scotland."
It's sort of like an Irish, but stronger.
Oh, I never heard of an Irish, Ken.
It's a fermented ale, much like this delicious drink you gave me, and I waved the leather pouch that he gave me.
And what's the basis for it? Is it, we got all sorts, we got apples, and there's a couple of bonny farms around, but what do you need to make this scotch if it's strong, you say?
Well, we take some of that delicious water you got there, we take some of the apples, we take some of the cedar, we make a barrel out of it, and we sort of ferment it in my guts here, let it sit overnight, and then I pass it through this spigot, and I slap it against the dog that's next to me. And you're going to see things you wish you never saw.
At a meta level, does it just take overnight for Keg to brew alcohol? Is that
Sure?
Sounds good. An accelerated fermenting process happens within our Keg.
Yeah, why not?
Now, do we run into problems? How does the fermenting process work if Keg is already ingesting other alcohol, finished alcohol? Is that a problem? Is this going to be mixing? Do you mixing his drinks?
I don't think it would be, because Keg can take in an alcohol but still pass lay on hands. So I think there's just some magic shit that happens, if I may use the technical term. Yeah.
I think that's in the 5th edition Player's Handbook. Magical shit.
I read it there once. It could be easier.
Sunday
Well,
beyond.
it's actually probably quite accurate, because I've just looked it up. Auto brewery syndrome, which is where people eat like sugar and yeast get drunk off their own body because it ferments inside their stomach. Takes around 12 hours. So if we're
Science.
assuming that keg has an audible gut fermentation system, then that's probably quite accurate.
That's what Keg's got. I knew it. I always knew it. I wrote that into his character when I made this years ago.
It's fucking science, and you can't tell me otherwise. So you set up with your there's he gets some tools, and between the two of you, you're able to hack off some or chop up some of this wood, hollow out a barrel. It's a bit of a crude affair. Give me a D20 roll, Keg, to see how well you do. Now, are you making planks and kind of bending them into a barrel, or are you just kind of making like a hollow sort of thing here? Or do you just have to eat the cedar chips to give it that cedar flavor? Are we making a new Keg? I have no idea what's going on.
I think we're chipping the cedar, and I'm eating it. Then I'm eating the moss, and I'm drinking the water from the lake. And then I'm just going to sit on that and meditate on that.
Yeah. So you do that, you chop up the cedar chips, and you end up like eating the chips like potato crisps, drinking water, but like Yor cautions you about mixing scumble and water. He says you can't put them together.
Keg puts them together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not a good sound.
So Keg, you sort of you're drinking this crystal clear water. You're drinking the scumble. You notice that as you're sitting around the fireplace, once yours got it stoked, he's skinned some rabbits that he's been hunting, and he's sort of cooking them up. He keeps handing, like, he fills up small thimble-sized or like shot glass-sized wooden cups, and that's what he tops up for him to have a drink and for you to have a drink. And you start drinking it, and then like as you start drinking the water, you start feeling like an incredible fizzing down your throat and in your gullet. You start to get indigestion, not only from like you can feel the fermentation happening, and that's usually quite fine, but this seems quite gaseous and problematic. So throughout the night, you're mostly fine, or you're kind of sitting on it, but you don't get that good meditation like you normally do, where you can kind of just chill out, tune off, and just like listen to the gurgling of your own systems.
This is a bad trip.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's not great. The alcohol starts kicking in pretty hard. Even for you, the scumble seems a little bit overwhelming. Not like mind-breaking by any means, but at one point you go stand up to wander over and get another cup, and you realize that even you are a bit... Oh.
Jeez, this is a problem.
And when you wake up, you have effectively taken 14 points of damage, as just like pieces of you just don't feel great. You've got that upset tummy, and you think the whiskey, the scotch is ready, but yeah, it didn't go through as smoothly as you would have hoped.
It comes with a damn price, I tell you what.
In the morning, though, Yor sees you kind of groaning a little bit, and he says, well, young fella, I'm surprised to see you standing at all, honestly, but sometimes the scumble takes a person like that. That's all right. When you get to my age, you get a little bit more attuned to it. You'll get there.
I'm ashamed of myself. Well, Let's see. Let's see what this is all for then. And Keg urinates into his tankard.
Cool. Give me another D20 check.
That's not right.
No, not at all.
I found the D20. Now let me roll it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just testing it out. Just testing it out. All right.
I think it's a 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a solid 5. It's a 5 Rooney. You go and like just a couple of drops come out. And you again kind of feel somewhat blocked up, or maybe like it's not ready yet. But you see you're kind of grabbing grabbing his bow, getting his swords ready, things like that, and says, well, we made quite a few oaths last night. I think one of them over drinks. You said we would take out the revenue, take out anyone who was going to eat my apples, drink my scumble without paying. And I mean, I'm ready to go. I know where these scunners are. Let's go take them out.
Damn right, you're. Things were said. Things were said. I tell you what.
High against the IRS.
I tell you what. We're gonna stick by them, you and me. You ever heard of a pincer movement?
We don't get pincer. We don't. I mean, I've heard of. We don't really get. I don't think he would know what a pincer is. I think he'd understand tongs, maybe.
And Keg clears some dirt on the ground, and he puts a little X on the ground, and he's like, "These are the collectors, right? You're gonna go around to the left, and I'm gonna go around to the right. And when the sun's at noon, bang, we hit them from both ends. They won't know where we came from. This is the way that we're gonna free your land once and for all. Do you hear me, Are you with me?"
He sort of pulls out his sword, and says, "Nay, king, nay, queen, we will not be rude again."
Fuck kings. Kings are the worst.
And sort of puts his sword away, and you and him kind of set out. He tells Fluffy, Snoop, and Spot to kind of stay behind, guard the place, and you and him head out west with the morning sun and start heading through the woods.
This is all going to plan. This is exactly how I wanted this to go.
On the morning of the third day you've been here, Gronk, Saudade, and Birdperson, you wake up after having set camp on the other side of a river in the Witchwood. Let's pull up some mappage.
Near Skull River.
That's right. You just crossed Swift Creek, where you, I think, had come into contact with, but didn't fight, a Hydra.
We ran. We bravely ran away.
Bravely. Bravely ran away.
There's a Hydra out here?
Yeah. We ran.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Keg, you're...
Like I said, that's probably the first time we've ever run away from a fight.
In our defense, it was Birdperson that made us run.
No, he's not here now, is he?
We're ready to fight.
Go back. Go get it.
I was not going to fight one bit. I was the first one on the other side.
Are you going to really leave that XP on the table? Are you just going to not fight it?
I
circle
mean, we
back.
really need to clear. We really need to clear out Vraath Keep.
Hmm.
We're running out of time to get to Brindle.
So as you're making your way through the woods here, it is slow going, and eventually you sort of mid morning. Let's change the time here, as it is next day. Advance to morning. It's sort of like 10 o'clock ish as you make sight of the keep, well off the sort of ranger trail that you're on, this sort of game trail. You see a large stone structure off to the northeast. You'd kind of made it out somewhat in the dusk the night before when you decided to make camp. And it looks like a sort of a run-down, abandoned human castle.
So are we down on the I'm assuming the map's accurate. So we're on the southwestern side.
Mm-hmm.
Can we see any orc archers on the battlements?
Give me a perception check as you kind of start making your way closer through the trees.
I too will like to help you with that perception check, so I'm going to help out myself.
Please do.
How early in the morning is it? 10 a.m.? Nah, I still haven't had my morning coffee. Because altogether, I rolled an 11.
I also rolled an 11.
Huh, yeah. So we're helping Father like Sunday.
Yep.
Are you out there teaching him woodcraft? This is how you stay stealthy in the woods. Oh, this picking up poop. Oh, this is a rabbit. This must mean
We're actually I told him to look at the west, the west wall, and we're both looking at the same wall because I didn't have the chance to teach him what was west and what was east.
Anyway, the Gronk's facing, he thinks is north.
So isn't that the correct thing though?
Yeah, it's my north.
Maybe that's what I taught you. Maybe I was like, oh yeah, whatever way you face, north. And then you just put your L, you put your two hands up, and it says L and R.
Yeah.
L stands for east, and R stands for south.
Careful pointing north that way on camera, Brent.
All right.
If I screenshot that, your career is over.
Well, I mean, it's being live streamed and recorded, so that's just
Excellent.
That's just the
Nothing to worry about.
The blackmail that I like to keep ready to go at all times against my friends.
Very Hollywood of you, Dan.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm the next Weinstein. Yes, next Weinstein. That's what I'll go for. Didn't he?
and that's the end of Dan's career.
Every man's dream to be the next Weinstein.
Just blackmail everyone and strong arm people into doing my bidding. So you put on that nice dressing gown, Gronk. Yeah, that's right. Are you and Doug both in dressing gowns, by the way?
Yeah. That's the way to live your life, man.
Told me I'm not wearing my dressing gown. I have to get my dressing gown at some point.
Right, it's 75 hard, not 75 uncomfortable.
All right, so you're both kind of keeping an eye on the woods here. You're looking up at the battlements, and whilst you can see up on sort of a rocky hillock, you can catch glimpses of a broken tower between the trees, moss-covered stone. It looks like that if there were kind of upper areas of the battlements, it looks like they are unmanned or partially even collapsed in some places.
Okay. How high is the closest watchtower or guard keep?
To you or to it?
How vertically in terms of height?
It's probably a good 20, 30 feet up, this tower. The rest of it is kind of squat at 15 feet. Can it be 25 feet?
Can it be 25 feet?
Potentially.
Excellent.
Let's see if I actually have a... I mean, the roof of the towers maybe like 30, but I think you'd be safe to assume that maybe like a window in the upper floor could be like 25 feet up.
Excellent. How about 20? I miscounted.
Well, there are. It looks like either arrow slits or other windows in the tower itself, and so there must be multiple levels within the tower. If
Hey,
that
Gronk,
helps.
don't you have like some piece of rope?
Have a 20-foot grappling hook and chain.
Yes. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought you could jump 20 feet in the air. So
No.
strange reason.
Do you have any enlarger or a ring of enlarging?
No, I do not.
Thought one of us had that.
If only Keg knew how to brew and lager.
Oh, he does, but he's busy running away. I mean, forming a pincer.
To attack the IRS.
Is there any sort of like so me knowing a little bit about keeps because in my human trafficking days we used to use a lot of abandoned keeps. There's always like a few sort of like L tunnels, like things which the servants would use to kind of go in and out of the keeps without like using main entrances because let's face it, the rich don't like the poor people being seen. So yeah, could I use that to my advantage, my old knowledge of keeps and hideouts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So can I don't know what type of role I would do to try and find maybe not like a hidden door, but like a door that's definitely not there to draw attention.
Like a dumb waiter.
Yeah.
Not all ways are
whatever.
done, mate.
That's silly. But yes, you can give me I would accept like a perception check, or if you have like a nature check to try and get an idea of like where this would be. Maybe not nature, survival
His
probably.
history? Maybe
Yeah,
history.
okay.
Seeing he's going back into his.
Yeah, yeah. If you can sell it to me, I mean, you've kind of sold it to me on.
Just because I never used it, maybe I'll try and use the survival. So I'm maybe using some tracking techniques. Looking at like the grass, see if it's flattened anywhere. Look for like tracks where say maybe like a barrel's rolled down a hill somewhere. Anything that shows sort of movement in the grass.
Yep.
A barrel rolled. Keg's been here.
It's a 12 altogether, so not the greatest. I have not done this in a while.
You cruise around for about an hour or so. You do spot a patrol of orcs that go by. Give me a stealth check.
Stealth is not bad. 16.
You're able to kind of hunker down for a while as a couple of orcs go by on patrol. They seem to be sort of doing a loop around the keep itself. It does slow your progress somewhat as sort of another half hour later, you do spot what appears to be kind of an old opening in the hill itself, almost like you think this could be some kind of side entrance to a basement or like a secret entrance to get out of the keep if need be.
Yeah, so I say to Gronk, I show him and I'm like, see, mate, still got it. And I say, quietly.
Never doubted you, Dad.
I'm like, and I stroke your chin. I just stroke your chin. I give you like a little cheeky father-son love tap on the cheek, mate. I love you. I just wanted to put that out there for everyone else. ASMR. I love my son. And yeah, I go in.
Cool. You make your way in through this corridor. It's almost like a bored out section of the hill. Rough walls. Part of it seems to have collapsed a little bit. You're able to kind of make your way through. Eventually you come up to a sort of iron door in the earth here, and what appears to be kind of more rough-hewn stone of a wall.
Yeah, I turn around to Keg and I'm like,
Keg's not there.
oh, sorry, Gronk. I turn around to Gronk and I say, hey, Gronk, you kind of know a little bit more about orcs than I do. You know, do you want to try and see where would the top dog around this place like be hiding? Would he be with the troops? Would he be hiding away in like the middle of the keep? What do you think?
If I was Koth Wormlord, I would be sitting atop of this keep on a pile of bones, gold, and meat.
Right, that sounds like a plan. We're going all the way to the top, so
I like his style.
let's do it. So I guess we go down and we just try and find like maybe stealthily. We're going to try and find like a staircase going up. Anything that kind of goes up out of the because I'm guessing we're still in the dark dingy place. So in my experience, this is usually like the cool room of the dungeons. You know, where you keep like all your ale, your larder, your meats, anything that's kind of perishable. You take it straight out from outside, straight into the cool room, let it sit, and then serve it when you need to.
Yep. So you the door.
The pool room where all the treasures are.
The door seems quite old. It certainly is locked from the inside as you kind of rattle it away. There's this iron door.
How old is old? Like old and brittle, or old and still the best fighter in the team?
Old and brittle and the worst fighter in the team.
I don't think that exists. maybe in the other party, but definitely not this party.
Well, it's old and iron, but it's probably. Trying to think. I do have notes here of how old this place is.
I just asked Gronk to run into it. Hey, Gronk, you want to just quietly try and knock this in
Sure
your
thing.
best?
I'll use my head. I'm just trying to headbutt the door open.
Yeah, give me an attack roll.
I wonder what the armor class is, because I don't think it's that dexterous.
That's not bad. And this is a headbutt attack, is it?
Yep. So that's my great axe. Sorry, hang on.
No, that's fine. You're proficient in headbutts, I would imagine.
This is literally not the first door that Gronk has headbutted.
No.
Like, it's almost like every 5. It's like
I'm not going to give him advantage, Doug. Stop asking.
Gronk, sometimes you just have to take advantage, son.
That's the end of Doug's job.
Calm down, Weinstein.
Am I rolling damage or?
No. So you slam into it. You have to have a couple of goes at it at this kind of level, but you're able to kind of break off some of this rust, and the bar behind the door seems to break after a couple of good solid hits, and you burst into a room. And let's get a cheeky look at the room. Are you visible? Yes. Can you see
Dad, get
yourselves?
up. There's no time to be lying around. Oh, wait, no, that's not you. That's an old dead body.
I say that's old and brittle. This is old and still the best fighter in the group.
Gotta check. No. So the walls of this basement that you appear to be in are of worked stone. The ceiling's sort of about 12 feet overhead. The air's thick and smells stale and slightly smoky. There are 3 alcoves that have been cut into the walls, 2 in the north and 1 in the east. So our orientation of this is all wrong. Each alcove appears to be sealed by an iron gate and locked with chains and a large padlock. Beyond one of the alcoves, you can see several shelves bearing no less than 10 small iron coffers. Beyond the second is a small desk and chair. The desk is piled high with papers and books, and beyond the third sits a single large trunk. There's a human skeleton lying slumped against the eastern alcove's gate, still dressed in tattered chainmail, feebly gripping a sparkling bastard sword, and the skeleton has a massive arrow protruding from its ribs.
I go and give the skeleton a bit of a kick.
Its foot comes off as you kick it, and clatters across the room.
Okay, good. This one's not getting back up. I've had that happen too
I
many times.
cough and just say old and brittle underneath my breath. I'm gonna just look for anything valuable in this room.
I pick up the bastard sword, and I turn around to Saudade and like, "Hey, Dad, reckon we could tie this to the other end of your spear? Have a double-ended one?"
Oh, I say, Gronk, that is not a bad idea, man. That's not a bad idea. Are we able to, and does that become part of the spear?
As you
tie this sword to the other end.
As you pick up the sword, it seems to sort of sparkle with white motes of light, and almost like little snowflakes, like twinkle behind it as you cut it through the air.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah.
Wow. If you spend some time and maybe a couple of good checks, you think maybe overnight you could potentially fashion this onto the end of a spear and turn it into one of those like pole arms style kind of things.
What style?
Well, I guess what is a?
I'm thinking of like Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, but with like an extra long handle.
That's a horse cleaver.
I guess it's a bastard sword, which is kind of like your Yoldi long sword.
Yeah.
So
it'd be like a lance.
On
if you attach it to a spear, it'd be like a lance. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to remove your existing. You'd have to remove your existing thing, but I think it'd be closer to a polearm, probably, right?
Like a lance sword, possibly like a lance sword.
Do you want to just use this?
Cavalry lance?
Yeah.
You don't want to use the sword at the moment, do you?
I'm assuming this is like a one-hander.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, nah. A little small for me, Dad. More like a toothpick.
Fair enough.
What's with the dad?
I know.
It's so a bastard sword is like between a long sword and a great sword in size. So I mean, you could in theory use this as I would allow it to be used as a great sword, like a big two-hander. So it'd be 2d6 instead of a d12. But I think an axe does work better for your special Orcish Fury thing.
Birdperson is looking for a one-handed weapon to replace the mace that he lost. Maybe we hang on to this for him.
We're going to hang on to it for him. Now, did you say this was a 2d6 then?
If it needs to be. I'm pretty loosey-goosey with the rules.
Because theoretically...
Thank God.
Yeah, Gronk, theoretically, we're 2d6 versus 1d12. 2d6 actually is better in the long run.
It is, but for my my special Orcish attacks, I need to be using certain weapons.
Okay, fair enough. We had this father and son debate about the uses of sword. But you can't always...
Gronk's like, Dad, it's part of my orc heritage. I know that you don't get that.
Dad, but it makes you look cool. I'm like, I don't care how cool it looks. Look at your father. It's not that cool.
It's just a phase. It's not just a phase.
Being orc is just a phase. You'll grow out of it.
Alrighty. I don't think... You know what? I will try and use this sword because I think it might actually come to our benefit if we use it until Birdperson comes back. So I put my spear and I just strap it onto my back like I normally do when I don't use it.
Yeah.
And I'm lugging around this bastard sword.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else in the room that's particular use, like any coins or?
Well, I described the room to you. There's 3 alcoves, a bunch of iron boxes.
All right, cool. Let's Yeah, let's
Well, yeah,
let's
I
look
wanna
at the
open the
iron
trunk.
boxes together.
There's the let's go open up the big trunk.
Yeah.
Let's do that first.
All right.
And
did it-
in briefcase number 1.
yeah. So you
The box.
how do you break the chains and padlock off these iron gates?
I try and use the sword. Yeah.
It's fucking coming in handy already.
Yeah, it's got like this
I get
icy
it.
touch. Maybe it might like make it icy cold and it breaks. I don't know.
Maybe. Let's see here.
Minute.
See, I think this is the equivalent of a long sword if you're using one hand, or a great sword if you're using two. Are you trained in either of those things, Saudade?
I'm martial weapons. That's all it really says. So I don't know what. I always forget what's covered under martial weapons.
I think that'd definitely cover a long sword.
Okay, I'll have a look while we do it.
Now it is heavy enough that it is a strength based weapon though.
Okay, because like part of my thing is if it's a martial weapon, I use it. I can use dexterity instead.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
So, that's why monks are really limited in what weapons they can do.
Yeah.
I've just brought it up now, but oh no, sorry, my bad. I can only use short swords and simple weapons. There we go. So I'm not good with it at all, and so I'm
not proficient.
Yeah.
Well, you can still do the attack, but it is strength based, and you don't get to add your proficiency. So you would just roll a d20 and add your strength modifier.
Cool. 12 plus 4, so 16.
Well, your strength modifier is a +1.
Oh, sorry, yeah, no, that was the saving throw that I just saw it then.
Yeah, that's all good.
Strength plus 4. Yes, +1.
So you kind of clang into this thing a couple of times, the motes of light illuminating this dark room that you're in, letting off this kind of eerily light blue glow. You do see sort of in the northwest area of the room a ladder leading up as you clang away at the iron gate holding back the large chest, I think. Yeah. And we cut back to Keg walking through the forest with your everyone's favorite your and how's the conversation going, Keg? What's Keg telling you? Yours sort of pointing out interesting things like, oh, this is the Dawn Way. It's oh, my grandpappy lived around here, yes sir, and his grandpappy, and we've been running the stills out here, keeping away from the revenue for years.
When you've been at Bridie O'Reilly's and you just happen to be having a chat to a drunken Irishman, and you're trying not to be rude.
I do know what that's like.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've all been there. And you're trying not to be rude, so you're laughing every now and then and just agreeing with him and making fun of his accent a little bit. Keg's doing all that, so thinks we're having a great time. What Keg is doing is looking for an escape out of this situation and explaining to how the pincer move is going to work, and really just being pumping him up this entire time about how well we're going to entrap the IRS. So that's what's been going on.
Love it. So you're heading down the Dawn Way, and it's sort of a large coach road. Eventually, you come up to a bridge, and are able to kind of making your way up north here. And keep crossing along. Now, give me a give me a persuasion check to sort of tell me how well you're getting him to keep talking, so that you can start looking at ways out. Uh-huh.
17.
I
Is that-
mean, again with that advantage.
Look, I just looked at the advantage. Your first roll was the 15, so I'm gonna allow that. But try not to roll
Just
advantage.
take it, Brent. Just take advantage.
And so you start asking him questions. Like he sort of bends down and is looking at some tracks, and he's like, "Oh, up through here, over to the east. Maybe I could head around that way, and you head up north, and then we'll come around this pincer move you said. That sounds pretty exciting. Let's do that." And he seems quite stoked, and he starts coming up with ideas of his own. He's saying, "Well, I could get out there, and I could get into position. I've got my bow." Wait, no, that's not his voice at all. Well, so I've got my bow, and I could get up in a tree, and then I'll give you why don't I give you a bird call and like a bit of the old. And that means I'm in position. So when you go in, I'll be able to start taking shots.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I'm just looking at the map here, right? I reckon you swing around here to the east. I'm drawing a little mud map on the ground, and I'll swing around here to the west. Now, metagaming, Cake thinks he's just going to run off.
Yeah.
But he may bump into some friends along the way.
Yeah. Love it. Cool. Give me yeah, so yours seems like super keen on this idea. He starts heading out into the eastern part of the forest off the road, and you break west and start making your way through the forest as well. Eventually you come upon as I described to the others, sort of around midday, you come across this sort of decrepit keep that looks like sort of four walls with an attached tower, and sort of a large road.
The window's about 20 feet high.
Yeah. From your vantage point, which is a little bit closer to the road, it looks like there's sort of there's sort of a gatehouse in the front walls, and they've definitely seen better days. The watchtowers to either side have been partially collapsed. Several large boulders lie strewn about, and it looks like it had come under attack by sort of giant boulders at some point.
Keg stops because he's like running through the forest looking for a way to get out of this dumb situation that he's put himself in.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing this like rundown shitty tower, Keg's like, there's no way tax collectors would hide in here. Like, I'm a king, and I wouldn't hide in here. So what I'll do is I'll hide in here while Yor gets mauled by these idiots and just lay low. There's probably some ale lying around inside anyway. I could just sit in here and get drunk until this whole mess blows over. Then I can go back to Yor's place and ransack that once he's dead. So Keg goes...
Just hang in here till it all blows over like the Winchester and have a pint.
Yeah, exactly right. So Keg goes into the cape. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you see the big old gatehouse with the boulders strewn around, and start to make your way in. There's a small wooden building sitting to the side with the remains of a garden in front. The walls surrounding the keep are about 15 feet high, with the two-story tower looming in the southwest corner of the courtyard. You can kind of make out as well through the main gate. There's a massive humanoid skeleton slumped amid the ruins. And the skeleton still wears sort of tattered fragments of hide armor and has a giant club next to one of its bony arms. You can also see sort of a sickly greenish yellow light flickering inside the tower from your vantage point. And you can also see what appears to be a couple of almost like giant lizards that seem to be prowling around inside inside the keep.
Keg immediately stops and sits up against the wall as if he is just a barrel.
Okay. So do you want to move yourself to where he goes to do that?
It's all shadowed out. Hang on.
All right.
Attempt to move glides with at least one more.
So you can't see anything?
I can see outside of the cape. I can't see inside the cape.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's walls inside the cape, buddy. So.
No, I thought it was inside. I thought I snuck in through this.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, sneak in here. Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm looking for somewhere to lay low.
Yeah. So you can see a couple of doors to your either side, looking like they go into kind of those gatehouses that you just passed.
Yeah.
There's doors to your right, which appear to be so to some kind of like stables or maybe a blacksmith. There's another door here, and then there's also the stairs behind this sort of giant skeleton.
Cool. Would you be down for some fun, coincidental metagaming? Like, which way would get me to Gronk and Saudade the quickest? Or should we just let the shenanigans? We'll just let him ensue.
Dunno.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right, Keg's going to head towards the door behind this guy who slumped over. But he's going to stop, pretend to be a barrel, wait for these lizards not to notice him, move a little bit more, pretend to be a barrel. He's going to roll sneak.
Yeah, either a stealth check or I'll also accept a deception check here.
Well, stealth is -1, so that's no good. And a deception is +2. That is advantageous.
Well.
Ooh, should have been.
Saudade, did you just hear a keg?
Keg.
So as Keg sort of walks along, kind of like sits down motionless, trying to solid snake his way around as if he's in a cardboard box, one of the drakes sort of come up and start snuffling at you, and specifically sort of snuffling around your spigot, which has been leaking a little recently as the kind of scotch is being overbrewed. You've been having that you've been having that spigot trouble, you know.
I mean, I'm getting older. Kay sort of like brushes it away with his hand. He's like, no, Gronk, not now, Gronk. Bad Gronk. That's a little bit of lay on hand, 2 points of lay on hand and squirt out of his spigot because Keg's getting a little bit excited at this thing looking around there.
All right, yeah, it seems like pretty stoked and just starts lapping it up. Not, it's not being aggressive or anything like that. The other one over here kind of is looking over, starts moving closer, but this one kind of growls at it and it backs off.
All right, that's good. No, hang on, I have a plan here.
Sure.
I have a plan here. All right. Now, while this thing's lapping away happily at my spigot, I open up the side pouch that I have, and I've got Barbari's bottle of ale, which is I've just written down as like rancid shit. I must have gotten a really bad roll, and you give me 10 of them. And I just sort of dribble it down the shaft of my spigot, so that goes into this creature's mouth.
Yeah.
That's the fuck yeah, good role playing. That's the reaction.
Yeah. It does that. It does that thing like it's a lizard. It's got that weird kind of bile coming out of its V-shaped mouth, and it's weird sort of rough tongue, fucking with the brass of your spigot, and you get that rancid shit along the side, and it gives the like and like it shakes, and you can see almost what looks like sort of acid dripping out of its mouth, as it seems to kind of stalk away a bit, seemingly a bit. It's kind of like done with this now. It was nice, but now it's not.
Fuck yeah. And that is how you handle a lizard licking your penis, boys. All right, moving on.
Cool. We cut back to
I'll
under the
remember
keep, as the Saudade and Gronk doing their best burglary, and
No, hit it from the left. From the left. That's your right. Dad, hit it this way.
Hear this?
The last place to relax, read. So you're opening up the one with the single large trunk.
Yes.
So you kind of get it open. You open up the trunk, and inside is a small, almost like the size of a pony. A pony's head is the skull of a dragon.
Is it big enough for us to put our heads in?
It might be a bit of a tight fit, but sure.
Yes.
All right, cool. Hey, Gronk, do you want to put your head in this, or do you want me to put my head in this?
No, well, I fit in around here since I've got like the patch and I'm an orc, so you should definitely wear this as a helmet. That's cool as hell.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I can't wait to see how this ends up.
But I've also got, and I bust out, because, I don't know if you know this about me, but when we were in the Pyramid of Shadows, I had a pet bird, but it was made out of skull and bones. So I've actually got, me and Paul had this adventure. You know when we all broke off, when we went to split the party?
Yes, yep.
We both got one half of a Phantom of the Opera mask that I wear now whenever I go into a fight. Because Phantom of the Opera is the most baddest musical character in the world. And I've also got this pet bird that is just bones. So it can't fly because it's got no wings. It's just got phalanges. So I put this dragon skull on, and now I'm this medium-sized humanoid that has a dragon skull and a pet bird that's also made out of skull and bones.
And I assume you're kind of looking through the mouth of the dragon skeleton. Like it's sort of like its lower jaw's down here, its upper jaw's up here. Yeah. You see through it.
Yeah, and I've also got my goggles on, obviously, underneath. So I actually and I would think that the goggle has this green tinge to it. So if people look into the dragon mouth, they just see this green sort of not a glow, but this green sort of thing looking back at them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I look human at all, apart from the rest of my body.
Oh, well, yeah. So I guess is it open? You're looking through its mouth, or is it more like Cubone style, where you're looking through its eye holes? But then you've only got the top half of the skull.
Yeah. So I put my thing through the thing. So the mouth is kind of at the bottom of my jaw. And then there, the top of it, I guess, is on my brow. So, yeah.
Cool. All right.
I also turned around to, I guess, Gronk.
Oh well, let me describe the rest of it. Yeah, I was just gonna say the other stuff you see in there is sort of large, kind of square ivory objects, about half a dozen of them. 2 dozen actually, on a thick string. Gronk, you instantly recognize these as giant's teeth.
I will wear the giant's teeth necklace along with the tooth of my mother. Yeah.
So you clink, 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 clink down like this. It's almost like the Akuma in Street Fighter. the big giant's teeth sort of on this lay around your neck. That
yeah.
sort of
Are you
hang
still
low.
naked, Gronk?
Yes.
You're an interesting looking dude. You know?
Says the walking keg.
At least I don't look like Moana without pants on.
And inside as well is a staff that looks like it's got. Either of you can give me an Arcana check here.
Okay,
I'm definitely not good at that. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm terrible at it as well, but you can always like fluke it and roll a 20.
Or not?
No, I didn't.
I rolled a 16, but I have a +0, so
Yeah.
it's just a flat 16.
I rolled a 2, but I have a -1.
Yeah, you definitely think there's some kind of magic about this staff. It has almost like a sword with sort of snakes winding around it, and maybe some wings on it.
Well, I guess I got to use this one now.
You don't think it's particularly probably well weighted, seeing as it's got this kind of weird effigy kind of thing on one end. It's not going to be a great balance for attacking, but you think there's certainly some magical power to it.
Okay, so it's more for I speak to Gronk and I say, and I now speak to you in Orcish because I'm like, hey, if we're in the middle of an Orc thing, we better speak Orcish.
Yeah.
I guess who's that guy who does magic in our group who I didn't actually know because he joined us in the pyramid and I was only with you guys for like half the pyramid.
Oh, the little gnome dude. Yeah, he's real cool.
Oh yeah, so I mean like, isn't this like twice the size of the gnome?
Yeah, but he's got magic. Magic. I don't know how magic works. I'm sure he'll make it smaller. I'm sure it's fine. We'll hang on to it. We'll keep it for him. It'll be a nice returning gift when we find them again.
Strap this on your back. Yeah. I mean, like, you know what? If they die, we can sell it. Or we can give it to Emma Watson to say, hey, thanks.
True, we can.
Yeah. She could be the new stepmom. Like.
Yeah.
So let's try and open up some of these other sort of chests. Can we open up the other chest, Dan?
Cool.
Yeah,
so you spend your time.
Chest number 2.
Yeah,
let's face it, we haven't dungeoned a while in Dungeons and Dragons, so we're getting that loot.
We were just in a dungeon for 2 years.
Yeah, but we didn't loot it.
That's true.
We didn't I mean, I got this weird bird.
That's all you need. So we cut back to Keg, who's kind of made his way along up here and sort of up into the battlements of this keep, and you're able to kind of look down into what looks like sort of a nest or a pen, and you see this creature. Let me. So with these, it sort of looks like a bit like a lion with a lot of spines and a spiky tail and sort of 2 draconic wings out its back.
Fucking chimeras, man.
Edward.
That's a goddamn problem, that is.
Yeah.
Alphonse.
That's
Edward.
a goddamn problem.
Any Full Metal Alchemist fans?
Keg. Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Very good anime. You should watch it.
I get pop culture. I'm cool. I'm with it.
Just as an aside,
I know what
Doug,
ASMR is.
If you want like freebie advantages just all over the shop, I did set it up in the Twitch chat that if they donate their loyalty points, they can grant characters advantage. So you can cheese the system that way if you like, mate.
That's the way. Everyone, I've been seeing all the Fs that get smashed. I know I'm everyone's favorite player. The end of every session, it's smash F for K. I see it go off, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, you see this creature down the bottom as you kind of make your way around the battlements. It appears to be kind of snoozing in there.
Well, we're gonna continue on just sneaking around, because I don't want fucking anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Give me that stealth check again, my dude. This one will give you advantage because it is asleep.
Hey, there we go. Hit up in the chat. All right. Stealth check. I got my little. Come on, Keg. Come here. Come here. Okay. Stealth. Was it stealth?
I think it's stealth.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, stealth.
Yo.
Hey,
Was it stealth or was it deception? Hello.
This one's stealth because you're trying to be quiet. Deception was you're trying to appear like a keg. This you're trying not to wake a thing up.
Wait, I don't know what the fuck happened there. My shit just freaked
Not good.
out.
It still continues to
Okay.
snooze though. It
Okay.
seems to wake up a
That's
little
like
bit for a sec,
Back
and one of the
up.
wings
It
kind
could
of
go either way. It's up to you, Dan.
like flaps slightly, and it kind of scratches itself, but then sort of settles back into restfulness as you kind of make your way along the battlements here. You actually come to a bit of a stop where there's sort of a breakage in the wall, but a lot across the way you do spot a sort of door on the battlements that would get you into the tower.
And how far is across the way?
It's sort of a 5-foot gap.
Yeah, we're gonna jump that. We're gonna jump that.
Cool.
That's not a problem.
Give me that sweet athletics.
Was it
You really
good?
need a force. No.
Was it good?
With a +8, you got 10.
I'm making halfway.
You make it halfway, and you kind of slam into the other side of the battlements there. You're gonna take
Like a goddamn action hero.
6 damage
He broke his ankle.
as you kind of slam in. If you had to breathe, the wind was knocked out of you. As you have to kind of scramble up, getting small little scratches and gouges in your wood, and you get back up onto the other side and across into the tower here through the wall. You're able to kind of squeeze in through a bit of a doorway and get in there. As we cut back,
Easy.
as we cut back to Saudade and Thingo.
Looting.
So what do you go after next? Are you going after the writing desk? Are you going after the small coffers? What are you doing?
Small coffers.
Let's split up.
Writing desk. There's nothing ever important in papers and notes.
I'm an old man. I shall look at the desk, and you can go for the coffers.
Done.
Cool. All right. So you spend a bit of time breaking in. Gronk, you see in 6 of these small coffers, they all contain coins. Once you're able to sort of get them all open, there's about 2,000 silver, 800 gold, and 120 platinum.
Oh shit!
120 platinum, 200 gold. Cool. GP.
Turn around. I turn around and I say, "You put that into a long-term deposit."
We can buy back the farm.
What? Like,
3 of the coffers just contain like notes of credit that probably expired a long time ago.
Okay.
And the last the last one you crack open says the bearer of this deed is the owner of Vraath Keep. Or the holder of this deed is the legal owner of Vraath Keep of the Witchwood. And there's some there's some seals and signs of the Nerath Empire here.
Just double checking. We are in Vraath Keep, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just triple checking what was meant to be obvious. Got it.
Guess who's now a lord in his own right? Suck it, Keg.
Boy, I high five.
King is way higher than Lord. At least Baron, Prince, King. At least 3 higher.
Do you have your own keep? No.
Then you guys just get one?
He does not.
I think you said
Yeah,
the
we did.
bear that holds this, and I'm the fucker that's holding it.
You
Where
know,
do you put it?
Keg, you feel a shiver down your royal spine that one of your vassals is gaining power and is considering usurping you and breaking for independence.
Crusader Kings.
I've been playing a lot of Crusader Kings 3 lately.
That's so good,
Wow.
man.
I became the king of Ireland.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, you got a real Irish streak going on. But that's alright. I'm about to rob Ye's farm tomorrow, so things will be fine.
Well, I think you would find that Yor would be one of Gronk's subjects, and while Gronk would have to collect his revenue, he, I assume, would have to pay a tithe to his rightful liege. I think would how it work. I don't think you're allowed to usurp that and go around and get the revenue off your lord's minions. That'd just be rude.
I'm gonna bump into Gronk. We're gonna team up. He's gonna tell me that he's now the king of this area, or the lord of this area. We're gonna go get some money off Ye, because that's we're
gonna be the IRS.
Saudade, you open up some of these pages and books. You open up sort of this writing desk. There's a bunch of books in here. And there's a bunch of information about the history of the keep. You're kind of scrolling through quickly, looking for stuff. You find kind of a journal and flip to the end, as you always want to, you don't want to see how it starts. You want to see how it ended.
Yeah.
There's a passage in there about how Amory, the Lord Amory of Vraath Keep, he's saying how his legend will live on because he has permanently solved the problem of the giants, and that they won't be bothering them anymore. And he'll go down in history as Amory Giant Slayer.
Cool. Can I flip to the pages in the book then that tells us how he did it?
So you kind of go back a bit and you start reading, and there's a passage about how he led an expeditionary force into the hills up in the Wormsmoke, and he killed a bunch. He just essentially used his forces to kill a bunch of giants. He lost some people, but and collected the teeth that he's got in there. He's going to pass that down to his children. And that because of that, they'll be too scared to mess with the likes of us anymore. All hail the kings of the Nerath and Lord Amory.
Yeah, I hold on to this. I hold on to this book because I think it could be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Especially but I don't really tell Gronk about it because I wouldn't mind surprising him when he takes, the throne of this keep. So I think to myself, this would be a nice bequeath, to give to him when he becomes the lord of this area.
Yeah. You also see
Don't worry, Keg. I'll still swear loyalty to my liege. I'm just now got a little bit more power. I can raise an army under your banners. Chill out.
Towards
That's
the back.
Great. I'm pretty sure you were my second in command anyway.
Towards the back of the writing nook, Saudade, you see with those notes, it talks about how he took the gauntlets of one of the giants, and you kind of see in the back. At first, you thought it was like these almost like map tubes, these giant kind of map tubes.
Yeah.
There are actually with a closer look. It's sort of a huge bracer that it could fit on your whole body kind of thing. Like it would be like a corset on you, way too big for your arms. And there's sort of like spikes around it, like some sort of heavy metal concert goer would wear.
I go, hey, Gronk, my boy, come over here. Take a look at these. How big are your forearms? And I look at, because my forearms are quite weedy, because I'm all about that speed. And I look at Gronk, who's all about who's all about that strength. And I go, hey, do you reckon these braces can fit your arm?
Still think they're a little bit big for me, Dad. I think these are giant braces.
Do you think they can fit around him?
No, they're too big even for him. Like, you try and put your arm in, and it's like you can lift it up, but they're just like sag below, and your arm slides right out. It sort of takes up your whole arm as well for what you expect is something that goes around a wrist.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. So
it's some sort of protective sleeping bag.
Because you know me, I don't like leaving anything behind. I like wrap it around my, chest, so it becomes like a little bit of it looks like a what do you call it?
A corset.
A corset.
So with the corset and the kilt that you're wearing,
a girdle.
You're too interesting looking, dude.
Girdle. No, it's the girdle, the kilt, the dragon helmet, and the dragon, and this skeleton bird on my shoulder. That's not, yeah. And
can you get your kids to draw that, please? If we can just clip that description and just make it a end of year. They don't pass year 12 unless they draw this. A picture of Saudade.
Then a sword of ice as well. So
yeah, an ice sword, a spear on his back, a kilt, like a metal corset with spikes around it, and then a young dragon skull on his head with sort of a greenish glow coming from in the mouth.
And a dragon bird. Never forget the dragon bird.
Oh yeah, and a little skeleton bird.
The skeleton bird. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So yeah, I think I definitely don't look like a human at the moment. So I don't know if I can pass off as an orc, but definitely not human. Maybe orcish. Sure. Gronk, what do you think? Do I look orcish yet?
He looks at Saudade's hopeful eyes. Yes, Dad. You look great.
Roll for deception.
Perfect. We? Oh, well,
I'm just gonna believe it. I'm just gonna take it. I think he doesn't even need to roll.
Gronk. Keg. We cut back to you as you've kind of made your way into the middle section of this tower, and there's stairs leading up and stairs leading down, and a couple of small beds and what look like sort of like travel sleeping bags or something like that have been in here a long time. I described the terribly pungent smells, but I think Keg actually does not even notice them.
Doesn't smell. Can I hear the racket of people looting from
No.
either up or down?
No. Give me a perception check though.
I did think that now that I've found somewhere safe, let's see what happens with the perception check. I'm rolling so good.
You smelt something, but no. Like you thought, hey, wait, there's this kind of familiar smell. But I'm sure it's not important.
Keg, being in the tower and being safe and wanting to get a good view of yours imminent death, is going to go up.
Cool. You make your way up the stairs. Up here is a you see as you kind of come up, there is a orc looking out over the out the window, or through sort of like one of the arrow slits. Let's see, move this map so everyone can see. Cool. He's wearing sort of what looks like sort of scale shoulders, almost look like dragon scales with kind of spikes around the pauldrons. He's got sort of this red cape on, and he has sort of a big mace and or like a I don't know if you'd call it like a morning star, almost like the thing with the ball and the spikes on the stick.
Yeah, Morningstar, yeah.
And as he turns around, as you enter the room, Keg, as I assume you're none too subtle. As you just
Say that
kind of,
last part again.
I assume you're none too subtle as you kind of walk up the stairs. He turns to you and says,
I think I am.
Who are you? What are you?
I give him a big grin and a big wave, and I say, "Hello, my name's Keg." And I can sort of tell that he's an angry dude by nature. So I immediately put my tankard under my spigot, pour out some 2 lay on hands, and I hold it up and I say, "I've brought drinks. I'm a Keg."
He
Magical
said,
Keg Fairy has visited again.
yeah. He says, is this a gift from Obould? Or is this Ozyrandian's doing?
Well, I'll leave that up to you. I'm sure by the end of the night you'll be able to guess who. And I shoved the tankard into his hand and put my arm around him and turn him towards the window and take a big old gulp.
Yeah. So he sort of seems a
Sorry,
bit.
was that Ozymandias, as you said, or what was the
name? Ozyrandian.
Ozyrandian.
You're not there, mate. You can't be taking notes about something you're not there for. But I know you're the only one who takes notes, so yes, you can.
It's not important, Brett. Never take notes.
I have so many notes.
He sort of looks out over, and you're sort of looking out. You're both kind of looking out the window. Is it a bit of the old like "How's the Serenity" kind of moment, or
Is it a bit of the what?
How's the Serenity?
Yeah, exactly right. Like, just wander up, hand him a drink, be like, "You'll fucking get it, mate. You'll get it," and have a big old drink.
And he says, "Well, do you have a missive from the High Wormlord?" And he's sort of drinking, kind of enjoying it, enjoying the novelty.
Honestly, he didn't have a lot to say. He was impressed with your last message, and he's happy with the way things are going. It just wants you to carry on.
Give me a deception check. I will give you advantage because you're liquoring him up a little bit here.
Come on, this one's got it. Come on.
Yeah, he says, he said that he's happy with my reports. He never really replies much. I thought maybe I was still in the outs, but perhaps I'm getting back in the High Wormlord's good graces.
Never replies much. Is he happy? What do you call a walking, talking keg?
True. So are we? I guess are we still on track for the? I've done everything I can. You can report to him. You can tell him I've done everything I can, and I've laid the way. The Skull Gorge Bridge is under control. It's ours. They'll be able to cross without a problem. It's all. I mean, it's all in my report. I guess I don't need to tell you that. But we can take Drellin's ferry within the next couple of days.
Excellent news. Excellent news. I'll leave you with my finest bottle and make my way to the kitchens, for I have travelled far.
Yes. I mean, if you leave now, or if you return, then they should they should be leaving within the next 4 days. They should march from Cinder Hill.
Excellent. Excellent. I'll require rest for the night. I'll merely do a lap of the keep, give it a quick inspection, and be on my way tomorrow.
He says, "Yes. How peculiar, and what magic fuels you?" He seems. He says, I mean, the High Wormlord mentioned he has incredibly powerful backers, but this is a magic even I've not seen before."
Yes, you're not alone. And Keg takes a sip of the ale, swirls it, and he says, "As for what magic fuels me, well, as they say, taste the rainbow." And Keg walks out of the room.
Cool. And so, Keg, you make your way downstairs from the tower. Do you keep heading down?
Yeah, up's not good. No, we'll go down.
You find yourself in a oh. This is a circular chamber that's been outfitted with a mix of furniture, including a large desk, an overstuffed chair, and a massive four-poster bed. And there's also a large easel that holds a sizable canvas covered with a sheet. Obviously, the flight of stairs you've just come from arcs up the south wall, and there's a fair amount of rubble from a hole in the ceiling that lies kind of heaped at the base of the stairs. There is also a door that appears to lead out, and you do also see what appears to be kind of a cellar door next to the bed.
Well, I head for the cellar door.
Mm-hmm.
Although as I pass the canvas, I stop and I look at it, and I say to myself, "Geez, that would have helped in the cupboard." And then head for the cellar door.
I'm just going to see all my notes here. Yeah, you see on the canvas. I'll see if I can actually share it with you, what it looks like, or if I can do that maybe when nope. Okay. You pull up on the cellar, and it seems to be sort of stuck fast. It's it seems quite heavy, or perhaps even rusted shut.
Strength check?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll accept an athletics check.
Oh, so close.
Saudade and Gronk, you hear sort of a struggling and a banging coming from the room above you.
Who is it?
It's only me.
God?
In a
Oh my
way, definitely not that. I thought you would become a dog.
I thought you'd become a god.
I've always been a god, Gronk. When did you become a floor?
found a piece of paper that says that I'm lord of this place now. How cool's that?
I empty my spigot on the floor as if I'm pissing on him. Don't you lie to me, Gronk! I can tear these floors up!
I mean, if you wouldn't mind, that might get us out of here. I found a lot of
smite
cash
the
too.
floor.
We can go and get real drunk.
You want me to break you out of the floor?
Yes, please.
I smite the floor.
Give me an attack roll.
Okay. Why do we do these things?
Dan wanted us to think through puzzles properly. He shouldn't have let the four of us go together. This is definitely the smash and grab party.
Was that last week?
Oh,
Like
100%.
last time?
We're just...
It was like,
Your
oh yeah.
response to most things is to punch things, Sean.
No, I forgot what the actual puzzle was, and like Dan said, you solved this puzzle, and I was like, Dan, you really need to stop saying that at the end of everything.
That was a fight.
Yeah, it was like
I'm pretty sure it was a fight.
you solved. Yeah, it's like you solved my captured in
I
the
think it was a
jungle puzzle.
I think it was the Hydra puzzle.
You just ran away. You solved my Hydra puzzle by running away.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you solved my man. Okay, if that's a puzzle, I think you think very low of us at the moment.
He does think.
I am attacking
Uh,
a floor, and I'm making them.
It's like, oh
Um,
man, these guys really
You're
can't solve
smoting
any
a
of the harder puzzles, so I might as well give them the easy puzzle.
Well, I mean, you guys are struggling to attack a floor in this puzzle. Are you right there, Doug?
Nothing's happening.
All right, I'm going to attack upwards. Let's see, just to
Yeah,
help
they-
you out. Oh, there you go.
I mean, I did that for him, but
Oh, there we go. There's going to be a few.
I think maybe you'd gone through a
Oh,
lag spike or
Jesus.
something. So Tag, you after draining the tankard, making it empty, you imbue it with sort of your magic smite power. So I want you to mark off a spell slot there, and you crash down onto the cellar door. It explodes downwards, raining chunks of masonry and tile all over Gronk. It gets all up in his hair and on his glasses, and there's sort of there's an earth-shattering kaboom.
Oh. Hey, Keg.
Gronk, I've rescued you from the floor.
Well done. Get us out of here. The
Okay.
orc chief that we're looking for is in this keep somewhere. His
Has he
name's
got a
Koth
red cape?
Warlord. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Jesus, neither have I then.
You look over. You look over at the canvas, Keg. When you notice that I've got it ready now, there appears to be sort of a large map of the area, and it looks like this.
Okay.
Did that show up?
Yes, it did.
And Gronk and Saudade, you see this as well as you kind of make your way into this circular room. You can kind of see this map
Good, because I screenshot it.
on the on sort of the sheet that's of canvas that's held up on like an easel.
The orc war plans.
Yes. So we're in the forest edge at the moment at Kotsu's base.
Yep.
It's a day 20. Oh, by day 25, they want to go to somewhere along that road. I can see day 25. All right, so we've got a few days.
As you guys are looking in there, the door flies open.
You didn't even knock.
That's not a problem.
Yeah,
That's okay.
you say you don't even knock, and I say, "Where's the manners?" But I say it in Orcish. So I'm starting to shout in Orc. I can talk Orcish. shouting at this guy in Orc through my dragon mask.
I sit down and pretend to be a keg.
Okay. Give me a deception check, Keg. And Saudade, I'm going to require... Well, depending on this check, we'll see how this goes.
Yes.
We all know it's going to be a 10, Dan.
We all know it's going to be incredible.
See if Dan gets it correct.
I mean, it's going to be a 10. I've rolled nothing but 10.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so Keg, you sort of sit down next to the giant hole in the ground that you have created and just sort of like tuck in and stop moving and go immobile. Saudade, you start walking forward with this sort of dragon skull on your head. And this... and what'd you say to it in Orcish?
I said, "Where are your manners?" Because Gronk said you didn't even knock. So I was like, me and Gronk were like ripping on this guy together.
Yeah. He says, back to you. What's going on here? Where's Koth? Koth!
Yeah, where is Koth? That's a very good question. We've been looking for him too.
We've been sent here to wake up Koth, and he's not even in his bed. Like, this is a big keep. And as you can see, we're not the, we're not, to be honest, we are. I also tried to take a little bit of drink out of that keg over there at Koth. I hear it's good stuff. You want a bit as well? You might as well, while we're here and Koth's not here, you might as well have a party.
He looks at...
where is Koth?
He looks at Gronk. Gronk, you notice that this guy is wearing the sort of orc. He's got this studded leather armor. He's got kind of like red stripes painted on him, and on one of his epaulets, like on his shoulder, appears to be sort of like a red hand. And he says, "Oi, runt, why are you out of uniform?"
I flip down the patch from Grumsh and say to him, "This is the only uniform Grumsh requires of me."
Okay. Give me an intimidation check here.
Certainly.
That's a good line.
Thank you.
He's so good.
Strong dialogue options.
I'm actually gonna move away because he scared me as well. It comes.
Not that scary.
Let's see.
You just intimidated me. That's all I can say.
So he's going to enter into like a... There's going to be an intimidation off. That kind of... You're both staring at each other to see who's going to flinch first.
Yep.
Oh, you could cut the tension with a knife. Or with a battle axe. As these two are just staring at each other, heating up the room. Both... you with your one eye staring at him with his two pretty good eyes, and it's almost like an anime. The lightning is crackling between you two, and both of you refuse to move.
I reckon they should have another roll off. Roll off.
All right.
Oh, we go again.
Yeah.
Oh, he rolled another 11. I think you've lost this one, Gronk.
Yeah, you've little faith. So he starts flexing out, and the small tears start appearing in his clothes as he starts sort of posing, doing the muscle man pose. And what do you do that's so intimidating back at him?
I think I just puff out my chest and he sees like the giant's teeth necklace that I'm wearing, and I think he starts to assume that I've killed that giant.
Is this like a Terry Crews peck dance and the teeth are dancing?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So this is kind of like jingle, jingle, clink, 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 drawing attention to the giant teeth that are around you, and he kind of steps back a bit, and says, "What are you doing here? Who sent you?"
We were sent by. Oh, I can't say that because I don't know that. Damn it! This is when notes get me in trouble.
Who's the leader of the Orc army at the moment?
We were sent by Obould to converse with Koth. He's required back at the Skull River. The plans have changed.
Plans are all off. All off, I tell you.
What was that, Sean?
I said, he says the plans have changed, and I'm there, like the plans are all off. Like, and I'm acting stressed out. When he mentioned the plans.
Yeah. He says, well, Koth is upstairs. He's he just held council with the dragon. We're told not to go up there when he's speaking with them. We were told to stay out.
Do you stand against Obould's messengers? Will the Obould stay out when the war was in the balance? I must go up.
He says, okay, just don't tell him I saw you.
You're a good soldier. Wait outside.
I say, hey, come back here. What is your name? Just in case we do want to tell him. Just in case we do want to tell him you. You don't tell us what to do. We're from Obould.
Listen, all right, now I need to go back to my orc name generator. Thank you. Actually, we've got who's in chat. So my name is Karlowski of the Bloodspear clan.
Good, Kalowski. All right, and we will decide whether we tear a collar off or not. All right, you just wait. You just shit yourself over there. I'm following you, big one.
He says, he says to you, Saudade, he's sort of shaken and says, of course, Worm Priest. Many thousand blessings upon her teeth and claws and whatnot.
Not knowing what a Worm Priest is, I followed Gronk out of the room.
We're going up. We're definitely going upstairs.
Oh, we're going up. But
yeah.
Do you remember? Do you guys remember watching WWE, WWF back in the day?
I remember playing the games, but sure.
Yeah, that's about as far as
I remember watching it.
There was remember the wrestler, the Boogeyman? Oh yeah, there was a wrestler called the Boogeyman. He used to have like this really he was a shaman. Like his act was that he was a shaman. He used to have like this really weird walk that looked like he was convulsing with the spirit at the same time. So I start doing that as I walk out, really to sound that I'm some sort of what did he say, like a witch doctor? Or yeah. So I start doing this convulsing walk as if I'm walking with the spirits. And I follow Gronk upstairs because Gronk is now obviously the leader of this group.
Yeah. So Keg, do you remain sitting there, or do you stand up and follow?
Actually,
stand up and follow.
Actually, Turner. Actually.
So the Kalowski lets out a gasp as the Keg, as Saudade starts moving to follow Gronk, making weird kind of dance moves as if communing with the spirits, and the Keg kind of just stands up, animates, and starts walking after him, and you hear this gasp from Kalowski of the Bloodspear clan as he sees this miracle occur.
Yeah, that is the power of the Dragon Witch, Doctor.
They're definitely going to believe what we have to say now.
So the three of you make your way upstairs and find yourselves again in that sort of circular mid room with sort of door kind of / window arrow slit that leads out onto the broken battlements.
I think we just keep heading up towards where Koth is.
Gronk, I have to warn you.
Yes.
I may have already been up there.
Oh, he's dead. Well done.
No, not dead. No.
Maimed.
Buzzed?
Maimed him. Oh.
Drunk.
Good buzz, bad buzzed.
Good buzzed. Had some beers with him. He's in a good mood. He thinks I'm a messenger and that their plan is to go ahead and that he's doing a great job.
Oh, that's the opposite of what I told the guys downstairs.
That's alright. They're not going to talk to each other.
Don't
That's
worry.
right, we're gonna kill
I
him.
mean, Saudade looked after that. Yeah. He looks weak. I think because he's so drunk, the first thing we do is push him straight out the window that he's standing. He's got alcohol all over him. They'll think he got sauced up and fell out the window.
It's a common accident for orcs. It's a high known cause of death.
So
Right
just
behind warfare.
as we get to the door, let's all just run in with our hands out in the push position.
Done. This
Excellent.
plan. And if all this fails, we'll go with the standard number 2 plan, the pincer.
How did you know about that?
It's a-
I saw this tax guy down below. He was telling me about it.
Yeah, well, now that you're a lord, we're going to have to collect taxes. Let me tell you, it is an easy task.
Excellent.
Alright, should we run in there, all guns blazing?
Yeah, ready to push this guy out a window?
I mean,
Absolutely.
to be honest, it is our way, isn't it? It is our way.
Yes.
It's the most fancy lad thing we can do. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's
And if anything, this time we do have advantage because he's sourced up next to a window in a good mood.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's count down from 1. 1.
So the 3 of you rush in. I'm going to let you all make a contested athletics check against this guy. I'm going to say all 3 of you probably can't get in there around the rubble. I'm going to say the two of you can kind of make this check. Or Saudade. 2 of you can make it, but Saudade, I'll let you make acrobatics instead because you're going to try and trip this guy.
Yeah. Cool. So 2 of us can.
Oh, Gronk, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So
Bye.
describe to me what this looks like, Gronk, as you kind of get to the top of the stairs, as Wormlord Koth turns around to see you. His eyes go wide at the naked half-orc wearing an eye patch and giant's teeth with a great axe on his back. Sort of bounds up the stairs 3 at a time, makes it to the top of the landing, and then what?
Get your kids to draw that.
I look at him and was like, the fancy lads send their regards, and I throw Keg at him and knock him out the window with Keg.
That's really good. That's really
Can you
good.
go out the window as well?
So you grab Keg.
Keg grabs the window.
There's a bit of a spin. Mario 64. You throw Keg at him. Keg slams into him, and he goes flying out the window. Koth goes flying out the window. Let me see something here. He falls, and let's see here. Crashes into a sort of lands on the battlements above, and he's going to take some damage here. How big's that fall? Because Gronk, you talked me down from how tall it was, so it's probably not going to be as bad.
30.
It was like
It was like 30 feet.
It was 25 feet, but that was not to the top window.
yeah,
That was
3D.
to a window.
A mid window. Yeah. All right, so it's going to be 3d10.
Yeah.
And he fell on his head. He was drunk.
He doesn't look great. but he still appears to be moving down there, twitching and getting himself together. As we're going to roll initiative now.
Cool.
I really thought that would just kill him.
It looked cool though.
It looks great.
Yeah.
He lets out a yell of upsettedness and other emotions. There's some other emotions in there as well.
Why betrayed me, Keg?
What is your initiative, Keg? Now you can roll that by clicking on the fist tab to open up the combat tracker and then clicking the dice next to your name.
It is coming. Yep.
I rolled a 19. Rolled a 19 altogether. Then.
Okay. And Doug? Doug?
Not a lot's happening.
Did you do it within Foundry? Or are you doing it in D&D Beyond? Have any of your rolls worked tonight yet?
Got a whole lot of nothing moving.
How good's the NBN, Doug?
I'm clicking it.
I think he's very lagged out.
I think he's very lagged out.
Sucks anything up.
Oh, here we go. Some dice. What is this?
So many dice.
2d20 plus 2d12. I'll take the
16. I can see a 16 there.
It's 15. Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet. All right.
Hello.
Yes, we've got you back, maybe, Doug. I don't know. He's certainly frozen in Discord, so I think
all sort of technical difficulties.
he may need to disconnect, reconnect.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can, but we're not sure if it's delayed. And now we won't
Yeah, I don't
know.
know what's going on. Also, while we're talking about technical difficulties, my laptop is plugged in and the little light on the charger is on, but the laptop isn't charging for some reason. And I've got like 20% battery left. So if I go offline for any reason, it's not because I hate you all. I mean, that's for Brent, but for the rest of you, it's because my laptop just ran out of battery.
Cool. All right, laptop running out of battery. That's what we're hearing now. Excellent.
But let's play on.
Playing on. I think we're all caught up. So you've shoved a orc out the window. He's landed on his back on the battlements. Not in a super great way, but Saudade, you are first to act as you sort of are still at the top of the stairs, having seen this play out.
Yeah. So, Gronk fucking smashes him at the window. And I've gone like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, and I'm going to jump out of the window. And I'm going to hit him with this bastard sword, I guess. So let me have a quick look.
I'm a bastard.
Features traits, because I'm pretty sure I've got slow fall. Yes. So I can reduce any fall damage by 40 if I take up my reaction.
Yep.
So, because I'm jumping out a window straight at this guy. So, I guess, how do you want to do this? You want to take the 4 damage first?
I don't think the full damage can even be high enough for you to even worry about it, because it's 30 feet up, it's 3d10, I think. So,
okay, beautiful. Cool. All right,
so you do you just like Trinity out the window, and kind of land on your feet on the broken battlements in front of this guy?
Yeah, I'm actually coming down sword first.
Okay.
Almost like anime style. Where they somehow land on their swords. Like they land with their sword, like their sword's paint. Yeah, the sword is the nose of my dive.
Cool. Give me a d20 plus 1 because you are untrained in this type of sword, and
I
it's
forgot
quite
all
heavy.
about that. Now he is lying on the floor, isn't he?
So you'll have advantage.
Yes, because I needed that one. I rolled a 19 on my second roll. I rolled an 8 on my first roll. So I rolled a dirty 20.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what type of damage does this thing do?
Cool. So I believe it is a d8 slash. You're using it with one hand? Is that right?
So because I came out the window, I was using two hands on this.
Okay. So it's a d10 plus an extra d6 of cold damage. So roll 1d10 and 1d6.
1d10, 1d6. Good. 6 damage.
Total.
Oh yeah, it was 4 from the cold. It's 4 cold and 2 from the sword.
Yep. Well, that's your first attack.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm now going to come down with the sword. I'm going to now come down with an elbow. So I'm going to use my striking normal strike. So 12 on my first hit, 11 on my second. So it's 19 on my with the first roll.
19 will hit.
And this is just with my normal hands. Another 2 plus 4, so another 6 damage.
Another 6. Yep.
Yep. And you know what? Fuck it, I'll keep going. 6. Would a 16 hit altogether?
It will, and he doesn't look great. You think with the combination of the fall and the solid hits you're dishing out, this guy looks quite rough.
And I've done 10 damage on this next hit.
So how do you want to do this?
So first I've come down with the sword, so I plunge the sword into him. Yep. And then I've kind of come down with an elbow, right across his face, so he's looking to the side, and then I say, the plan has changed. We're now taking over, and I just rip off his head. Rip off his head, and I'm holding it in my hand on top of the battlement, looking down, and all the other orcs are looking up at the top of this battlement. And they say, don't forget, I've got this dragon skull on my head.
Yeah.
And this skeleton bird, and I'm saying, we've taken over now.
Is it fucking raining blood as well? Jesus Christ!
There's lightning. Well, I think my little mod here did say there's a light drizzle, but at that moment, a crack of lightning, flashes behind Saudade. His hands are just covered in blood. There's sort of this light blue glow underneath him, casting crazy shadows through the dragon skull. As he stands there.
Clouds say Makgora.
And then I look up at Gronk. I look up at Gronk at the top, and I say, "All hell, Garumsh."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And out the window to Saudade, I cover my eye, just like a salute to him.
What, the eye patched part? You cover the eye patched part.
Yeah.
That covers the other eye.
Excellent.
So that was looks like we solved another puzzle.
And we solved the dungeon puzzle.
Well, it's Gronk's turn, so you've come to the edge of the window there. You've kind of dashed up and
taking a piss.
All right. And you kind of look down to see this tableau.
I can't see where Saudade and things are, so I can't move myself to where they are.
Oh, are you going to jump out the window as well?
I was going to lower myself down with my chain.
Okay. You're able to kind of lower yourself down and end up just sort of behind Saudade on the battlements there.
Excellent. I grab the head off Saudade and can I see down into like the center of the keep and see the other?
A
any
little
other
bit,
walls
yeah.
or
Like you
anything
can
else
kind of
there?
see through the broken wall and roof a little bit into that room.
All right. I chuck down the head of Koth down to the many of them, and I scream out at the orcs and gathered parties. Flee! Flee back to Obould. Carry the message that the fancy lads are coming, and soon his head will be mine. No orc war party will ever smash through Brindle and take on to Winterhaven. Flee before your new lords. Flee before the keg of the king. Flee before the elderly man that will kill you. Flee before Gronk, fighter and soldier of Grumsh. Flee.
All right, give me a strong advantage intimidation check here.
Good.
It's okay. You slip a little as you kind of make your way down. The ground
I
slick
throw
with
the head, like
blood.
bounces off something and smacks me back in the face.
Yeah, it like goes down and like it rolls and like rolls into a corner, like where it's unimpressive. And but the orcs have kind of come out in the in the courtyard here to kind of see your proclamation, right? And we're gonna see which ones are intimidation. All right. This guy wants no. Ooh, he's still in. He's still kind of in here. This guy wants no part of it. The white tusk orc, with big battle axe on his back, studded leather armor. He's sort of got he's got that fade going, on either side. Got the little pony, the warrior's tail up top.
Oh, he's faded, all right.
He shoulders his axe and starts walking away.
Fuck yeah. Powerful speech.
So
Powerful
does
Gronk.
so does the part-time orc soldier. He's not getting paid enough for this shit.
No entitlements, no leave, no sick leave. He's not.
Yeah,
in.
he like
Yeah,
he was.
hasn't even got a name badge.
He reckons he could get more out of JobKeeper. So this guy's staying, and yeah. So 2 orcs stay, and a minotaur bursts through the wall, in kind of a rage at seeing that head, and these guys walk off. Cool. I believe that was your action, Gronk.
Yeah, that's me done.
The Minotaur, though, lets out sort of a cow-like rage of its own, and charges towards you with its horns and goes to like pierce them into you. Let's see. So that's 14 piercing damage as this this giant bull gouges into your side with its horns, and then it readies its axe for its next turn. Keg, you see all this unfold from up in your ivory tower.
Yes, sir. Keg sees that charging towards his friend Gronk and wants to dive out the window to ride the Minotaur like a bull, grab its horns, and steer him away from Gronk.
Okay. So you're going to sort of Zorro out the window, try and land on your faithful steed. In this case, your faithful steed being a Minotaur. This is going to be an acrobatics check.
Yes.
For sure.
No worries. No worries. All I need to do is get higher than 10.
I wouldn't say that. I think it's going to be a bit harder. I think we're going to need a 12.
I mean, I've got a lot of advantage because I've been riding Pegasus. I know how these things work.
Don't even need it, mate. So, Keg, do you yell anything as you jump out? So like a hi-ho silver moment?
I yell Makagara.
Keg yells Makara as he goes flying out the window here, and into the hallway, or into the sort of courtyard, and lands on this Minotaur's back. I'm going to let you make your attack rolls now if you'd like.
How would speak to animals go on a Minotaur? Like, do they understand basic or common or whatever we call it?
I don't think you've met a living Minotaur, but I think they do understand like common. I think almost everything understands common.
So
it's like it's an intelligent creature.
My-
It's a humanoid.
Okay. My attack then is going to be to rub it gently on the head as I'm riding it to get it to calm down and be like, only death will come from fighting us. Just relax. Everything's going to be okay.
All right, give me an athletics check to hold on as it kind of starts bucking like a bronco trying to throw you loose. Keg, you are thrown clear of this thing and land on the ground. And you're going to take 5 damage as you slam and slide into this desolate courtyard amongst the giant boulders.
Hang on. I took 14 damage for something.
Yeah.
And 7 damage when I hit the wall. How much damage from this?
5.
5 damage from this. All right, cool. I guess that's my turn, huh?
Yeah, I think it would be. Good try though. One of the orcs is going to run up to you and try and attack with his hand axes. First one. It's a 21 to hit. That's 6 damage.
Oh, 21 to hit. 21 hits my shield, mate.
Oh, give it to me then. So you're going to take the 6 damage as it kind of cuts into you somewhat, but your shield charges up with a light and repels him. How much for?
2d6 force
Cool.
damage.
Roll it up for me.
Nice.
That's right. Nothing but pain.
A big, solid, chunky 3 damage as he goes flying and smacks into the door here.
And there's more where that came from, Orc. Don't worry about that.
It's a Minotaur. That's the Orc, my bad.
No, yeah, the Orc, yeah. Me and the Minotaur are mates. I'm gonna ride him. He's gonna be my bitch.
One of the Drake that didn't get to have a good taste of you, Keg. It's gonna run up and try and take a bite of you now, seeing as you've kind of disturbed it and seem quite threatening.
That's the dragon that I walked past.
It's the one that you didn't give any of that sweet taste. It misses though as it tries to get a hold of your leg, but even its teeth can't seem to break through the wood.
That's right, bitch.
Gronk, the well-groomed battle-born orc, with his he's got sort of spiked gauntlets, sees your challenge and sort of sees the others leaving, and says, "Fine, leave. Do you squat to take a piss too? Obould will hear about this. And then he charges at Gronk with his gauntlets raised. And we're gonna see how he does. First one's gonna hit. So that's 6 piercing damage from the first attack. Second one, 9 piercing damage. He just starts laying into you with these sort of spiked gloves. A bit of a boxer he sees himself as, trying to lay into you there as you're trying to avoid the Minotaur. Saudade.
So, obviously I killed the guy. It's now broken into bedlam. So I'm just going to join the fray. So, okay, everything's just gone dark on me. The attempted token movement collides with at least one more.
Oh yeah, I can kind of. I'll move you.
Dan.
Yeah. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be on this side or like in this side?
Yeah, let me start off with this guy over here. I'm going to wipe out this guy first. I'm going to take him out one by one.
Yeah.
I'm going to help out Gronk by taking out this guy over here.
So like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Saudade jumps off the battlements.
Yeah, and this time, actually, can I say that, to switch weapons, is that an action? I think it is.
No, I think it's... it's a free action to drop something, but it's part of the attack. I think you can put a weapon away and then pull another as part of your attack, kind of thing.
So I'm gonna as I'm coming down on him, I'm putting the sword behind my back. And can I take out my spear as well, or is that just pushing it a bit too much?
I think that's fine.
Cool. So I'm going to attack him with my spear first. And that's a 24 together, which I think is going to hit pretty easily.
Yep.
And I roll 7 plus 4, so 11 damage with my spear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm then going to do a normal basic hand attack, and that's an 18.
Yep.
And I do 5 damage. So very lackluster on that one. I'm then going to run around over here. Oh, okay. So there's a wall blocking me from the Minotaur.
Oh, there's sort of a big boulder that's broken the wall a bit. But you could attack him from there, I think. You could try.
Can I kind of can I try and maybe be on top of the boulder? I mean, I know
Sure.
I can't place my thing on there, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm going to punch the Minotaur in the head.
Okay.
14 doesn't hit, does it?
It's just hits. That's fine.
Oh yes. So this is a normal basic hand attack, 8 damage. But because he is the Minotaur, I am going to spend a key point. And that key point is going to be used to do the thing.
Stunning strike?
Stunning strike, yeah. So he needs to do... I'm on a small screen for the...
I assume it's a con saving throw?
I think this one is a con save, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just bringing it up quickly because I do need to say I've spent a key point as well. Confirm stunning strike. Yep, con save throw. He needs to pass a DC 14.
Yes, he is stunned.
Yes. So he is. Yeah. So Gronk, you don't need to worry about the minute. We can just lay into the Minotaur this round.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Cool.
Anything else out of
turn?
All right, there you go. Gronk, you see Saudade kind of land next to you with his spear out, lays in a couple of good hits to this orc, dances around, flies over him up onto one of the boulders that has broken into your keep, and lances down with a jab to the Minotaur's neck, and the Minotaur kind of goes rigid and stunned.
Excellent. I'm going to rage because I'm taking quite a bit of damage from this thing at the moment. So that's my bonus action. Then I'm going to... Do I get advantage to attack this Minotaur because it's stunned? So don't need
You
to
certainly do.
attack?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to attack this thing.
Now, you're not exhausted, are you? Had you gotten rid of all those?
I didn't want to do that. Yes, I did because we slept not too long ago. Yep.
Okay. Yep, that first hit
Well,
hits.
that-
And I think it should prompt
wasn't
you
much
over on
advantage.
the right-hand side to
Yeah,
roll
I'm
the
just gonna
damage.
try and fish for the crit.
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's just dirty 20s.
dirty 20, yeah. Yeah, between the two, they needed 18 or 19. Could have taken the 19, but no.
Mm. Oh, well, you need an actual 19, not a dirty 19 anyway.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So that's 13 damage into this Minotaur. Cool. It's still looking quite healthy, by the way.
Okay.
Jesus.
Second hit.
Let me put up.
No. Got excited.
So if you hold Alt
so-
when you click the thing, it should roll with advantage.
Oh, okay.
So you've done your two
Well,
attacks.
that's handy.
Yep.
So 13 damage again.
13 damage again. Cool. All right. Any frenzy? Anything like that?
No, I've been tired for a long time, and this is going to be a long war.
Yeah. It's a lot of killing to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of a bunch of killing to do, from the stable, one of the stable doors flies open, and an orc runs out. Great axe and javelin in hand, charging out to the sort of war cry from his fellows. The Minotaur is still stunned. Keg.
Because I know it's going to be good. Did we have a long rest between day 2 and day 3, like when we first arrived to the keep?
No, I don't think you got a full long rest. I would say maybe you
No, we
got
had
a
a short rest.
short rest.
We had a short rest.
Even though it was overnight, I don't
Okay,
think it
cool.
was a very restful rest.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. I was just wondering if I could maybe, if it's a short rest, that means I get to reset my things, but I still minus the 1 key point.
Yeah, I'll let you have spent some hit dice. You haven't taken any damage yet, so.
Yeah, I haven't done anything because I came in because I thought.
Because we came in hot.
I came in really hot. Cool. Yeah, it's more the key points that I was worried about rather than the health. Cool. I'll update everything, but I've just taken off the key point. Sorry, Doug.
All good. Okay. Doug looks in some level of animation. I can see.
You're all good, brother.
There you go.
You're all good. All right, let's do some smiting, huh?
Yes.
We're gonna jump on the back of the Minotaur, trying to ride him again, and then while we're on the back of him, riding him, we're going to divine smite.
I like where this is heading. So Keg's going to run at him, divine smite,
How's that sound?
into this stunned Minotaur. So give me an attack roll with your battle tank at a smiting with advantage.
Does that sound like something you'd be interested in?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Smiting this.
I think Doug is kind of laggy again. Can you try disconnecting from Discord and reconnecting, my brother?
He's got like 6% battery left on his laptop, so I think it's running out of processing power.
True. Wow, just as we're getting to 9:30 as well.
Man.
I'm just staring deeply into my soul. We got some dice.
I see Sean privately rolling dice. Why can't I see that as the GM? That's rude.
I'm down to hotkeys. Nothing else is working.
Trying to. Oh my god, I'm down to hotkey.
Brilliant. All right, so 9 plus. Yeah. So that's 16 damage on his first attack. What we might do is we might need to call it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. F's in the chat for Keg and his laptop, which is dying, and so we can't hear him properly. But I think you can still see our chat. Maybe it's coming in a bit late, but
Yeah.
we'll take a break there and we'll reconvene midway through this battle that is unfolding, potentially with a bird person next time, and that will be in 2 weeks' time. Was the continuation of the Fancy Lads. So, but before we go, I'd like to get Brent and Sean your feedback on tonight's session. I'll hold off on Doug's feedback because his computer's dying.
No, that was awesome, man. That was really, really good. I like the fact that we got that loot. That loot's sick. We got cash for days. We've never had that much cash. I like that. I now have an orc war plan. I like that. That's sick. And we got one orc captain down.
Did you grab it?
Suck it, Obould.
We can retroactively, but I remember you took a screenshot for yourself. But did you actually grab? I don't remember hearing you say you grabbed those war plans.
Retroactively, I'd like to do that. I definitely have a screenshot of it though.
What people don't really know is that Gronk actually has a photographic memory.
Graphic memory, yeah. He's high function. He's high.
Not with books.
No.
Yeah,
only with war plans.
Anything book related.
No, he's a visual learner.
Yeah, sure.
He's got a photographic memory when it comes to war plans.
Yep.
Yeah, his fixation is actually all war plans. This is why I love you, Gronk. You're very situational at times.
Sometimes he's an idiot. Sometimes he's actually
I thought we did really well. I mean, we've only played really for about two and a half hours, and we got 3 shits.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't know how good the other group is, mate. But I definitely think this is the winner's circle right now. Like, who else pushes someone out of a second level tower
and then jumps down and cuts off their head? Amazing.
Well, the only way to know, because I'm not going to tell you, is you'll have to tune in and watch next week.
Well, yeah, you were saying. Oh, yeah. No, I don't think it's going to live up to the hype of what we do, though, Dan. So that's the thing. Like, I'm the oldest but strongest member of the group. So I'm the best fighter of the group. So why would I want to listen to the non-fighters of the group do it?
And I think we're getting better at roleplay. I think we're getting better at staying into our characters and actually doing what they do more than just table talking. I think we're getting better at that, which is good.
Oh yeah.
Got a lot of voices too.
Yeah, we're quite cool.
Your voice was amazing. Like your voice. It's a weird sentence. Yeah. Your voice was amazing.
Your voice was all over the place. I mean, let's just call it what it is, Dan. All right, I know you've been watching Outlander, but you need to be watching more of it because it's sometimes just Scottish, and then sometimes went into Irish, and then other times turned into whatever the hell that was.
Yeah, I think I started off on like a posh kind of British, or like a almost like a I hear Adele in the background yelling at Outlander. Can she hear us?
Yeah.
Or can she only hear you?
No, she can't. I'm on the headphones.
No, well, tell her she's very bonny. Tell Adele she's very bonny.
Adele, you're very bonny. Yeah, you got her. She's doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I need to stop watching Outlander because the only accent I can think of now is, it's very Outlander, you can. You wee scanners coming in to steal me ale.
You know what you sounded like. Actually, when you were doing it, I thought, the Rick and Morty episode where they go to the Purge planet.
Which planet?
The Purge planet. When they do the purging.
Oh yeah. The old timer. Yeah, the
guy in the lighthouse.
I think that's where I tried to start. I tried to start there.
Yeah. I was like, because your cadence is very much like this guy. The cadence actually overtook the accent at times, and I was just like, it just sounds like that guy from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 looks across the room. He sees her. She sees him.
Yeah, I was going for like a posh, but like American frontier kind of voice, I think. And then I drifted out of it because I didn't have anything beyond. Well, sir, it's you've stumbled into my pit, and yeah, I see my boy Buds NZ Yeezy in the chat has redeemed some points, so I'm gonna have to name a character after him next. Hopefully, not one that these guys just murder brutally.
Instantly.
I mean, like, it's about a 5% chance of that happening.
We need some new recruits to work in the pub.
Or, I mean, instead of Ozymandias the dragon, could it be NZ Yeezius the dragon?
I can do NZ Yeezius the dragon.
NZ Yeezius the dragon. Nzezius. It's almost like Nzes.
Nzezius.
Gronk.
It's the easiest.
Gronk, I'm surprised you didn't try and take over everyone in this keep. With the whole, like, I tried to really throw it back to you, and I, did the all hell Grumsh.
Oh,
and then, I tried to say, like, you run this place now, and then we've taken over. And then you just.
I don't want just this keep though. I want the entire Orc horde. I need to do that when I take Obould. I need this horde to be mine, not just this petty group in this keep.
Enough. I was just like, oh yeah, couldn't we use these guys to fight Obould? I don't know.
No, we're much more of an assassin. We're gonna make our way into his camp. We'll fight him I'll fight him one-on-one. We'll kill him in front of everyone, and right now we're in charge.
Actually, could you actually? Now you just giving me an idea. You can actually what do you call it? Makara him, can't you?
That's the idea, but I have no doubt that the second that I yell that, all of you will be like Makara and jump in.
But I wonder if you're actually strong enough to beat him one-on-one. That's the other thing.
I definitely am.
You're the strongest and youngest, fancy man.
Yeah. So Dan's there, like, trying to create this villain that's, like, probably strong enough to battle all four of us at the same time. And then you're like, no, I'm just going to Makara him from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to walk straight in. No questions.
It's like Paul. Like, imagine Paul saying the same thing in the pyramid. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm actually going to take this big boss all by myself. Why?
Yeah, don't you guys just watch it. Just watch it. I've got plot armor. Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah, I've got plot armor, and let's face it, I'm two people in one body. So this is basically my fight.
And this, I was gonna say as well, like, I've added this this map that I've just re-showed you to the journal entries tab in Foundry. So if you have grabbed it, you have access to it, I would say, and you can always look at it again later.
I can see why you're tracking. The days
cool.
now.
Yeah.
I like this. I really do like this.
That's cool. Yeah, so do I. It's awesome.
So yeah, on a meta level, like, obviously they have a plan of when they will move forward and attack each area, and that's why we need to track where you are.
Surely, like, we might have delayed them now because we've just stopped Koth's probably much horde from being able to attack in those. So maybe we're going to delay something, or
I'll tell you now, I do have stuff in my notes for this happens on this day unless this happens, or unless some of these kind of things happen, and then we start shifting the timeline.
I can imagine that you would have
a fluid timeline.
To be honest, I started freaking out when I first saw it, like, because where it says day 25 to live, good plunder, I thought that said day 2. It's like, oh fuck, it's so far ahead of us.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember as well. So I'm saying you've been here for 3 days, but theirs is likely days from when they begin the march.
Yeah. So we're probably we're probably close to their, where is it? We're probably close to their day 4. I'd say we're a day behind them currently.
Well, Keg spoke to
Did you just pull that out of your ass?
Keg did. If you go back and watch the video, maybe that's be the best way to take notes. Koth did let slip to Keg what day the army would begin their march.
Yeah, he said that they're going to march on. Where did I write it down? The raid will begin in 4 days, so it'll commence on our day 7.
Okay, cool. So I reckon, you know what we should do? Should we just burn Witchwood down?
Fucking light the whole thing up. Yeah.
We wait for day 4.
I'm so down for that.
Like if we imagine that all tribes must adhere under Karam, yeah, and that's day 4. That's that's like their day 1. Attack day 5, yeah, is that cross just after the river. So if we burn down Witchwood halfway through day 4, we've got them all there just dying.
Yeah, and Aussie Rendy and the Dragons forces must be in there somewhere as well.
NZ Yeezy the dragon.
Oh yeah, sorry, NZZ is the dragon.
Yeezy the dragon.
So yeah, maybe we need to like think about like just arson right now because that could be a way. What do you think? Thoughts?
Only you can stop forest fires. Yeah, have 2 weeks. Maybe get together offline a little bit.
We'll build a war plan.
Maybe this is the conversation that you guys have in character after you survive this battle. Assuming you survive this battle, we spend a bit of time.
We'll need to explain it to Birdperson anyway. So
I guess the question is, which wood does Witchwood have? So we know how it burns.
True.
Which wood would which?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we'll remember
cool.
We can still head.
Actually, look at that. That's called Cinder Hill. That's where we would start it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We could also.
There we go. So
remember, there's still forces in Brindle that we can rally as well. So there's we could go to Brindle and form an army and have an actual war. But that's probably not a smart idea to meet Dothraki in an open field, Ned.
Yeah, where's Brindle? Oh, Brindle. Yeah, maybe we can get the Brindle people to help us burn down the wood.
Yeah, out and meet.
Like, hey, just... No, we'll just be like, when they're in day 4, we'll surround the Witchwood and we'll just burn it to the ground. I'm actually now all behind my arson plan. You can't convince me otherwise.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for tonight, Dan. This was
thanks, Dan. That was awesome.
Excellent.
No worries, boys. Had a great time.
Money.
Exactly. Right.
Get so much cash.
I wouldn't mind. I actually wouldn't mind
entire new bar.
That's what I was thinking. Like, let's build we could be the what do you call it? What's that place in Morty Alec? The new sort of bar, the sports bar.
Sporting Globe.
Yeah, we could be the Sporting Globe of this world.
Start franchise.
Just start franchising. We'll put big screen TVs everywhere, or I don't know, big screen pictures or something. I don't know. But yeah, we'll just become the Sporting Globe of the D&D world. Dan, start thinking about that, Dan. How are the boys going to try and start up franchising?
Well, we did agree that, Dan, we need to sort out how the business actually runs. We need to have that conversation as well with all the lads, like how do percentages work, who owns what happens for perpetuity.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you get 20% unless you're not an original lad, and then you only get 5%, right? Like, did new members come in and non-voting shares?
Actually, yeah, because if you think about it, the new members haven't contributed to the bar at all.
No,
like to the build of it. So. And I still like this whole death pool idea.
Tontine.
Yeah, so the takeaways from today, the action plan are death pool, arson, all from Saudade. Saudade is going through things, guys.
Yeah, I mean, in one timeline, I'll tell you this, maybe that's how the Articles of Incorporation were set up for Fancy Lads Inc. and how Castle on the Hill was set up with its ownership, because in the other side story, which you can go catch on the YouTube channel or in the alternate weeks, I will tell you now that Barnaby, Heimdall, and Han have met an older Mara who is in possession of pretty much everything you left behind, seeing as you're all assumed dead.
Oh yeah, of course. How is older Mara doing?
Guess you'll have to watch and find out. And with that, I'm going to leave you tonight. You have to tune in next week, Saturday. You have to come and watch. You come have to watch. And look, you can you can heckle them from the chat, and also redeem points to give either me, the dungeon master, advantage to fuck their shit up, or to give them advantage if you think they need help. So I know which one I would prefer.
Because I'm not actually
Yes,
going to watch. I know. Let me just ask you, because we all know who's the easiest one to wind up in that group. How has Paul coped? How is Paul's character coping, and what would be the best way to stitch him up? We join you.
Is he still pregnant?
That's still to play.
Is Tarnaby still?
They haven't run into Tarnaby. He did have to fight a bunch of giant, and by giant I mean like human size crow people, which you can imagine he was not happy about. Because Paul and Barnaby are both scared of birds. Yeah, it's swooping season. It's giant magpie boys. And they've been trying to solve a lot more of their fights without fighting and being cleverer. Which is
I called that.
which is going with mixed success. Obviously, they don't have a healer per se. I guess Barnaby's kind of a healer, but you wouldn't believe it. Although
I didn't realize he was a bard for the first 3 years.
I'm gonna tank.
Last session, they were in a sewer, and Heimdall turned Barnaby into a great ape in a cramped sewer, and then just used his teleport abilities to kind of teleport everyone out and leave Barnaby in there to do the fight. So
Did Heimdall have I'm guessing he was quite altruistic with that move, and then he realized that it wasn't going to work.
No, so it was a rescue mission they were on, and they had to get someone out. And they're in these sewers. So he teleported to like a brewery basement with someone, and then he can like swap positions with someone to get back. So he swapped with Han, he got back, and then he could teleport out again with someone else. So it's kind of like, but it was kind of like the you've got a wolf, a chicken, and a dog, and you've got to get him across the river. It was kind of like, we got to go over. Like I'm gonna go with this guy, and then I go back, and he comes, and then I'm across the river again.
Amazing. That's great. That's amazing.
And then the final one was Barnaby has a dagger, the Prince Noctis dagger, that if you say its command word, you teleport to the dagger if you're attuned to it. And
that's cool.
So Heimdall took that dagger with him, and then turned off the polymorph spell. So Barnaby went from being a giant ape locked in combat with a large Duragar to being a small human locked in combat with a large Duragar, and was like, no, I can take him. Oh god, the spell's fading, polymorph's fading. Yeah, I teleport out now. So he was a bit miffed he didn't get to like cave this dude's head in. But they also fought an Illithid, which is one of those like octopus face floaty guys with and they fought an intellect devourer, which is like a little brain with 4 feet, 4 claws that can luckily Han did not have his intelligence permanently lowered by this thing. We're at the level now where like shit can do permanent damage to you.
Like my fucking exhaustion levels can really fuck me.
Yeah. On that note, actually, Brent, as we do occasionally, we'll have a chat offline about some ideas I have about your frenzy and like where it's going to go, and kind of some of the things we've talked about recently of how that's going to evolve. So I've got some ideas I want to run past you, and I think you'll like it.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
All right, boys. I'm going to love and leave you. I'm going to get to bed.
All right.
Yep. Cool. See you, boys.
See you, boys.
Thanks, fellas.
No worries.
Thanks,
all right. It's just you and me, chat. Thank you very much for hanging out. Thanks for redeeming points and having hopefully enjoyed some laughs there as we played the Red Hand of Doom. Tomorrow night we'll be continuing on with the Lost Mines of Phandelver, starting around like 7:30. And then next week on Tuesday we should be playing the Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and then it kind of alternates Waterdeep and Red Hand of Doom alternate with each other. But every Thursday we should be doing the Lost Mines of Phandelver. So if you're still sticking around, there were a few of you here I did see, and obviously the big boy Buds himself, we're going to rename a dragon after him. And hopefully it doesn't die to the players. But even if it does, what a way to go. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.